my friends for stopping by. I am Osakachan.doll. We've got ghosts, we've got chills, and tales to thrill. So settle in close, let the night stand still. Come spend Halloween with me, Osakachan.doll. Where shadows dance and specters call, ghost stories to chill your thrills in the air. Together we'll brave each spooky scare. From haunted houses to midnight screams, we'll wander through the strangest dreams. I'm grateful you're here, it's all for you, for every scream and every boo. Come spend Halloween with me, Osakachan.doll. Where shadows dance and specters call, ghost stories to chill your thrills in the air. Together we'll brave each spooky scare. Turn down the lights, let the magic begin, with frightful tales and devilish grins. Thank you, dear friends, for being here to make this night of ghosts appear. So stay close by, don't drift away. The night is young and here you'll stay with me, your host Osakachan.doll, in this eerie night. Thanks for watching, let's share the fright.
Hello and welcome to my dollhouse. I'm Osakachan.doll and I'm super excited and thrilled you're here today. Before we jump into the video, it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button and subscribe. Your support goes a long way in helping me to continue to create quality content. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you're always up to date with my latest uploads. And if you're into cool merch, check out Osaka.doll merch for some stylish gear and fun accessories. Links in the description below. Thanks so much for being here, and let's get started. Today I will be telling you a short story that I made up that I call the Ravensbrook Curse. With that being said, let us begin. Chapter 1, Exposition. My name is Samantha, and a few weeks ago, I moved into the girls' hostel at Ravensbrook University. The campus was stunning, ancient ivy-covered buildings, wide-open courtyards. But the hostel itself held a dark, whispered history. You see, the original Ravensbrook hostel had burned to the ground decades ago, taking several girls with it. No one talked about it much, but there were rumors of ghostly figures lingering in the halls and strange sounds at night. They called it the Ravensbrook Curse. But I didn't believe in any of that. I was a skeptic. Still, the first time I set foot inside my new room, an icy shiver ran down my spine. My two roommates, Mira and Linda, were already settled in. They seemed comfortable enough, with Mira confidently brushing off the old legends as nothing more than campus gossip. Linda, on the other hand, was quieter, her wide eyes betraying some hidden fear she wouldn't admit. Mira, ever the bold one, laughed when I asked about the fire. Come on, Sam. You don't believe in ghost stories, do you? It's just a myth to keep freshmen like us on edge. Nothing to worry about. Linda nodded weakly, but her fingers trembled ever so slightly as she tugged at the sleeve of her sweater. I wasn't so sure. Chapter 2, Inciting Incident. The strange occurrences began slowly, so subtle that at first, I thought I was imagining things. Lights flickered at odd times, the temperature in our room dropped inexplicably at night, and the old wooden door would creak open by itself. Mira laughed it all off. Faulty wiring, bad insulation, it's an old building, Sam. What do you expect? But I wasn't laughing. There were whispers in the dead of night, too soft to be natural, too distinct to ignore. I would lie awake in the dark, listening to the faint murmurs drifting through the walls. When I mentioned it to Linda, her face drained of color, but she said nothing, her lips pressed into a tight line. Then one night, as I was moving some furniture around, my fingers grazed something cold and hard beneath the bed. I pulled it out. It was an old leather-bound diary, dirty and stained with ashes, its edges charred as though it had survived a fire. The name written inside was faded, but I could make it out. Emily Carter. A girl who had lived in the original hostel, the one that burned down. But how was it here? Thought they said nothing was left from the fire. Flipping through the pages, I found haunting descriptions of a figure Emily saw in her last days, a shadowy presence watching her, lurking in corners, waiting for her. The final entry was unfinished, the ink smudged, as if the writer had been interrupted suddenly. I knew, in that moment, something terrible had happened in that hostel, and it wasn't done yet. Chapter 3: Progressive Complications. The diary consumed me. I began to dig deeper into the stories surrounding the fire and Emily Carter. The more I uncovered, the more real the ghostly figure in the diary seemed. As I followed Emily's terrifying accounts, strange things started happening around us. Our room grew colder by the day, no matter how many blankets we piled on. Doors slammed shut on their own. And then there were the footsteps. They were soft, dragging footsteps that shuffled just outside our room late at night. Mira shrugged it off, her usual bravado waning as she tried to convince us that it was all just the wind, just the age of the building. But Linda was slipping, her face pale, her hands always shaking. I'd catch her staring off into space, her eyes wide with fear. One night she finally confessed. "I've seen her, Sam. The figure. I see her in the hallways, in the mirror. She's always watching." Linda wasn't lying. I had seen something too, just a flicker in the corner of my eye, but it was there, shifting in the shadows. Mira, however, had changed. She was becoming distant, cold. She spent hours locked in her room, whispering to herself, her laughter strained and unnatural. When I asked her about it, she would snap, "Stop being paranoid, Sam. There's nothing here." But I knew better. The diary had led me to a horrifying realization. The fire wasn't an accident. Emily and the other girls had been trapped, burned alive by something malevolent, and now it wanted us. Chapter 4: Crisis. The hauntings escalated. It was no longer just whispers or flickers of light. Things were happening. Objects moved on their own. The mirrors in our room cracked without reason, and the sound of guttural screams echoed through the walls late at night. One evening, a glass flew off the table, narrowly missing Linda's head. We were under attack. Linda was hysterical, finally admitting that she'd seen the ghost multiple times. "She doesn't want us here," she sobbed. "She's going to kill us like she killed them." And then there was Mira, distant, erratic, and increasingly hostile. She refused to acknowledge anything strange, dismissing our fear as paranoia. But something was wrong with her. She no longer seemed like the Mira we knew. Desperate, Linda and I continued reading through the diary, piecing together the final, fractured memories of Emily Carter. Her last entries were desperate, filled with terror. She wrote of a figure, a girl who wasn't who she appeared to be, who was trying to finish something dark. And then it hit us. The girl from the fire, the ghost that haunted Ravensbrook. It wasn't just any girl. It was Mira. The Mira we knew wasn't real. The real Mira had died in the fire. But who, or what, was living with us now? Chapter 5: Climax. Terrified but determined, we decided to confront the spirit. We needed answers, and the only way to get them was to face the haunting head-on. Linda and I set up a seance, hoping to summon the spirit of the real Mira, the one who had perished in the fire. The candles flickered violently as we began, the air around us growing heavy with dread. The whispers returned, louder now, swirling around us. As we chanted, the room grew colder and colder, and then the temperature plummeted. The door slammed shut, and there she was. The figure materialized before us, a charred, broken version of Mira, her face twisted in agony, her eyes hollow. She didn't speak, but her presence was undeniable. The air grew thick with the scent of burning flesh. But then, the imposter Mira stepped forward, her expression eerily calm. "You finally figured it out," she said, her voice dripping with malice. "Mira died in the fire. I took her place. I needed a body, someone to finish what I started all those years ago." Linda screamed, backing away in horror. The imposter Mira's eyes darkened, her evil smile stretching too wide for her face, an inhuman shadow flickering behind her. She had been using us all along, biding her time to complete a dark ritual tied to the hostel's horrific past, a ritual that would claim our souls. But the real Mira's spirit was stronger than the imposter expected. With her last ounce of strength, the ghost lunged toward her twisted doppelganger, the two figures colliding in a violent surge of supernatural energy. Chapter 6. Resolution. It was over. The imposter had been vanquished, and the real Mira's spirit was finally free. But the hostel would never be the same. The walls once filled with the distant hum of life were now silent, oppressive. Linda and I packed our things and left that very night, unable to bear the weight of what had happened. The following day we learned the truth. The authorities had found no trace of the imposter, but they did discover a charred diary in the room where Mira had stayed. The pages were blank now, as though her story had finally been erased. As Linda and I walked away from Ravensbrook, we couldn't shake the feeling that something still lingered. The air was thick with unresolved tension, a sense that the darkness wasn't truly gone. Even now when I close my eyes, I can still feel her watching. The real Mira may be at peace, but the imposter, she never left. And Ravensbrook's haunted history, it's far from over, because some ghosts don't want to be forgotten, and some rituals never really go away. The end. Thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you found it engaging and insightful. If you enjoyed the content, please consider showing your support by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. Your feedback is what keeps me motivated to keep creating valuable content for you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'm Osaka, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Until then, take care. Thank you so much. I truly love your support, and I'll see you next time.